finished The Hero plus Vegas equals no regrets. I had to have a quick moment to remember. I love these titles, but sometimes getting them in the right order is a little bit of a mind situation. So this book, I had done a few Vegas accidental marriages, marriages under the influence, and so I honestly went into this thinking it's going to be enjoyable, it's going to be along the same lines. When I tell you, I absolutely loved the more unique spin on this. The fact that they both knew what they were doing. They went into it with open eyes. I mean, they might not have had the right reasons for getting married, but it also wasn't a like woke up in Vegas like, oh, surprise. And I really enjoyed that. I enjoyed the dynamic between them. Worth, oh my god, if any hero is worthy of the name Worth and the title of hero, it is him. He 100% falls first. He is all in. If you've done the other books in the series, you will, see some familiar faces, some friendships, and I love that kind of found family that these guys have, right? Because if you haven't done the series, it's a bunch of guys. They each they met at college, they're in a competition, they each own a hotel to see who can do the best. Billionaire problems, right? And then we have the ladies that come in and steal their hats. Each of them has had different unique stories and different reasonings for the way that they are, but Worth was just the hat. This book was performed in dual by Samantha Brentmoor and Grayson Owens. So this is my second Grayson Owens book, and Samantha, obviously we all know I love Samantha. She just proves why in this. That sassy and sweet and vulnerable and strong and all the things we love her. Grayson, look, like I said, this is only the second book I've done. The first book, although I enjoyed, it wasn't something that was like, yes, 100% gonna have to listen to all the books, right? I really enjoyed his performance in this. Some of the side characters are British, and I think he did a great job with that, because I was a bit like, oh, how is this gonna go? Which is always the case as a British person. Like, you never know how somebody is going to perform that when they're not British. And there's very few people that are able to manage that. No matter what the Americans say, just saying. Look, if I had like $1 or a pound for every performance of a British character that an American said was the best accent ever, I'd be able to afford a flight to the States. But Grayson actually did a great job, and also because there were more than one, I was like, how, because doing an accent is one thing, having to do it for several people, but I think he did a great job with that. So definitely Worth, and he had that, smoothness down for Worth and how he is, and again that sort of showing him as that, I'm a billionaire, I know what I want, I know how to get it, but I'm also have those vulnerable moments of, this is the woman that I want, and what? The black moment was one where you're kind of just like, why is this happening? But also, it was so worth it to get that coming back together, and we get to see Worth in this situation where he is feeling sorry for himself, where his friends, and this is what I love about this friend group, they're like, let's go do something fun. All I'm going to say is it's not your typical guys supporting guys activity. You can figure it out when you listen to it. I'm not ruining it for you, but the book is so much fun. I love the way Louise writes. She always has like such rounded characters that have heart and feeling, and storylines that make you feel. Like, we know how bad I am with names, and for some reason I cannot remember the female character's name. Damn it. But so kind of her story is that her parents are separating, and she finds out something major about her dad, which colours her entire perception of him. I think as readers, we, can have certain feelings about, like, why is she not reacting a little bit too? Like, she is a grown adult after all. But then on the other hand, especially later on when we see them interact, and she is asking these questions of what is happening? Why did you do this? And his justifications, what he wants, and it is all about that. And she finally has this realization that he's just a flawed, selfish human being. And I think a lot of us can relate to that. Finding, we grow up with our parents on pedestals because they're our person, and then if we're lucky, I know there are some people that haven't had that experience, but then realizing actually they're human, they're flawed, and yeah, they're selfish. So when I was listening, I was like nodding my head, and I was like, tell this dude and do this and do that. And it gave it that human level as well. And I think that's what I love about romance. Even though it's fiction, it has that element of realism. It has that humanity to it, where we get to see and sometimes process things that we never would have thought of processing through a book. And this has turned into a big old ramble. So if you're still here, go get this book. It is fantastic. I think you will love it. And yeah, I can't wait for the next one.